Hey, I'm Hankerin Ferinale, and I'm feeling excited and curious about playing a little bit of D&D tonight.
This is Chat Dragon, a talk show and actual play podcast about sci-fi, fantasy, and the world's most beloved game of make-believe, Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Jared, and I'm your host. I am a newspaper reporter by day and a dungeon master by night. I decided to start this podcast for purely selfish reasons, and that is to have a reason to talk to interesting people about interesting topics, all through the lens of D&D. Each episode, I talk to friends, family members, and tabletop role-playing creatives about this beloved hobby. The conversations are driven by dice, and the games driven by our imaginations. He's a man that goes by many names, and you may know him from his popular Runehammer YouTube channel, the games he's written like Index Card RPG and 5e Hardcore Mode, or through the fiction that he writes. Today, I'd like to welcome to the show Hankerin Ferinale. How are you doing today?
Hey, pretty good, Jared. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for agreeing to do this.
Yeah. Let's find out where this goes.
Yeah, so I've read some of your books. I read your Index Card RPG and your 5e Hardcore Mode. So this is this is kind of exciting for me to be doing.
Right on.
And so typically, just how I've been doing the show is I've recorded like an actual play, which might take like an hour, and then I wrap it up and would do like an interview afterwards. Does that work for you?
Sure.
Cool. So I guess just before we get into the actual play, you want to, I guess, tell us a little bit about yourself, just for the listeners out there who maybe aren't familiar?
Yeah, if you don't know about me, I started a sort of D&D themed YouTube channel of 5 years ago or so, kind of on a dare from a drinking and food stunt channel called Cult Moo, and they thought it would be funny if I did a D&D channel, and that kind of started a crazy return to the hobby. I'd been on a couple-year break, and I wound up going deeper down the rabbit hole than I had ever possibly imagined. Wound up even leaving a 20-year career to just get into publishing, and I don't know, that spark, once it was reignited in me to get back in, I kind of went all the way back in. So now, thanks to Patreon and thanks to some lucky sales here and there, that's just that's all I do.
That's pretty awesome. What got you out of the hobby, and then what brought you back in exactly?
Well, every 5 years or so, I would take a year or two off playing D&D, either because you're the game master like all the time, or maybe you move to a new town and you don't know anybody and nobody wants to drive half an hour to your house to play, or maybe like a 3-year campaign comes to a close and like the next game you try to play kind of feels, emotionally empty. Kind of got a little heavy. But yeah, like every 4 or 5 years, I would take 2 years off from really even thinking about D&D or even really looking at it. It was just a natural kind of a flow to the rhythm of how I did the hobby. And then I was on one of those breaks. I was really involved in work at the time. I was doing concept art for Xbox, and somebody pointed me to Burning Wheel, and I started looking at Burning Wheel, and I was like, wow, this is really wacky. I don't think I would ever play this, but dang, is this book cool. Got me head scratching, and that kind of 5e and indie scene was definitely like kind of about to pop. You could feel that wave coming. And then that's when my friends mentioned YouTube, and those things all kind of just happened at the same time. So it just sort of a wacky combination of circumstances.
Nice. So this is gonna be interesting because you probably have quite a bit more experience in this game than I do. I'm maybe 2.5 years in, and reason I kind of ended up being a DM is just because I don't really have a lot of people that I play with, so the ones I was able to convince kind of fell on my shoulders to to learn the game. So
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it goes.
and I know from watching one of your videos, you had recommended some books back. I don't know how old this video is, but Dungeon World and Blades in the Dark and some of those books, and I actually ended up buying some of them just kind of based on your recommendation from your video. So this is going to be interesting, and and I really enjoyed kind of your, I don't know, you're you're like an index card RPG. It's obviously it's a system, but it's kind of casual enough where you can chop it up and throw it in places, different parts. I don't know if that was your intention or if that
Yeah,
was.
absolutely. I mean, it's funny you mentioned Dungeon World and Blades in the Dark specifically because even just like me mentioning Burning Wheel, all three of those books are books that are crazy fun to read and really kind of give you some mind popcorn. But I wouldn't necessarily just start playing those after I read them. I've always been a read it and scratch your head and steal the one thing you liked kind of person. And so I just kind of wanted to openly say that in my work of like, take one thing from this book and then, chuck the book. In the newer edition of Index Card RPG, it actually there's like a funny little cartoon of how to use this book, and it just shows a guy like using it to block arrows. So there's like all these arrows like hitting the book. Like that's kind of how I am as a person. I have very little sort of reverence for any given book. It's just kind of fun to read, and then it just winds up in a pile somewhere, and we just keep on playing in our own chaotic way.
I feel like for me, like I've started falling down this rabbit hole, and I've been buying just books and reading them or picking pieces out of them that look interesting, and the ones that I end up liking the most tend to be the more like the rule sets more than like the campaign settings, because that's I think the same thing. I like the just kind of taking things and mashing them together to make the game I want to make in that particular campaign or
Yeah, and like the statistics of the indie sort of audience, if there is such a thing, it's kind of a big generalization, but core books and like system type books do really outsell campaign style books. And then it's kind of interesting because if you look at the statistics in the sort of other sort of style of play, which is more the sort of 5e Wizards of the Coast style, their campaign books are really where they make their bread and butter. They really only have, one or two little system books. So it's kind of interesting. I think the tendency to want to buy core systems is almost like a that's a marker that you're an indie weirdo.
Yeah. Well, the ones I'm reading right now are Dungeon Crawl Classics, and then I bought Lamentations of the Flame Princess. I got like a used copy, and so those are the ones I'm kind of looking through right now that seem kind of interesting, and so yeah, I guess I'm one of those weirdos.
Yep. Well, you're among good company then.
Cool. So this evening, the game we're going to be playing, it's called the Sidekick, and I guess it is based on 5e, but I'm trying to take things from different places, and one of the systems that I try to borrow from is the Fate RPG system. Are you familiar at all with that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just the thing I like to use from it is just establishing aspects. So when we get into it, we'll be rather to kind of like I have a setting on a VTT that I've set up, but we'll kind of establish maybe like the settings and the feel, and then that way you can roll when you're doing your rolls or whatever. It can use the aspects to your advantage, however you see fit. So,
do I need my dice, or am I going to have a thing to push?
You can use your dice. I use dice because it's more fun. There is like on the VTT, there's a digital dice. So I don't know. It's whatever you feel, whatever makes you most comfortable or you enjoy personally.
I'll use the digital ones for posterity's sake.
Okay, cool. So for links for new guests, there is a character sheet. I don't know if you can find it. And it's just
is that me?
It's supposed to be you. So
okay.
So I'm just using like the Sidekick rules that Wizards kind of came out with. I think it just makes it easier. So there's a huge, like a bunch of crap the guests have to manage, and it kind of fits with the theme that you're playing like a sidekick to a
Marigold Thundercrack, eh? I'm one of them medium humanoids. All right, so I got that.
Yep.
And Is there like a? Oh, there is. There are more links up ahead here.
Yep. And I'll rodeo be the other one.
All right, clicking things. Ooh,
I'm gonna get some music going. I may have to having to take out later for copyright reasons. We'll see.
Oh, I see a little world. Yes. I must.
Do you play? Do you use a do you use online, or do you just do strictly in person typically?
Oh yeah, we've been playing Roll20 for obvious reasons for a while, but never played in here. There's a bunch of neato icons. I don't know how to zoom in. Oh, there we go. It's just my wheel. Hey, okay.
This is the one I tried using Roll20, but I just found that I didn't really want to spend a lot of time learning how to do all the stuff that they have that you can do on there.
I found myself. I'm hiding in the bushes.
All right, I'm gonna start up the music. Oh.
Let's see. Well, my con is good.
But you can adjust the audio for the music. There's a groovy bot that you can turn down if it gets to be too loud.
How do I? Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. Adjusted.
All right.
Okay, still getting the mood factor.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
It feels like I'm hiding in the bushes. This is music to hide in bushes by.
That's the point. I was trying to find something John Carpenter-esque, like Escape from New York or something, just to kind of get the feel. So.
Okay.
So in the
protection. Okay, so nice, kind of a good guy. 26 hit points. Jeez, I'm a badass. Arrest. No, it's currently. Okay, so not a lot on sort of who I am. I guess that's going to be up to me a bit.
Yeah, and I'll try to fill you in on kind of what's been happening as well. And like part of the rules of this game, and it's kind of probably inspired by your 5e hardcore mode, is that there aren't like death saving throws in this. So if you die, like if you get your character killed tonight, then he's done. You have to like find some sort of medical help or some sort of medical person to heal you up just in case.
It's all or nothing here.
Yeah, just to kind of another guy I follow is a Professor Dungeon Master, and always talks about like keeping the stakes high, to keep things interesting. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to create, I guess, with this. So
all right. Last thing is, where are my dice?
Oh yeah, so there's this box. It's like a square with another square inside of it. Do you see that in the left hand?
Yeah, got it. There. I just rolled a d20. Oh, they made it pretty. Okay, cool. Nice and simple.
So, in the last game, which that episode hasn't aired yet, but you were in prison basically, and you had to break out of prison, and I have a introduction that I read, so I'll just read that, and then hopefully that will kind of fill you in a little bit on what's been going on. So,
awesome.
Okay. Previously on the Sidekick, after doing battle with the despicable Jason St. Josephine and setting fire to the Black Eye Tavern, Marigold Thundercrack found himself behind bars at the Cutlass Hollow jail, sharing a room with pirate-turned-burn victim Rudy Graves and a mysterious but familiar-looking stranger named Alejandro. In a previous life, a young Marigold Thundercrack had aspirations to become a famous improv comedian, but unfortunately lacked the necessary skills to be successful at it. Through a few short conversations, our sidekick learns that Alejandro too once shared this dream, having been a former classmate of his at an improv class. Alejandro shows indifference towards the ex-improv comedian turned sidekick, but seems to bear no ill will towards Marigold. Rudy, on the other hand, seems less amicable and holds a grudge against his current cellmate for the burn wounds he now has. Marigold, who attempts to make Peacemaker, finds little success with Rudy and is soon pitted against him in a bare-knuckle boxing match organized by the jail guards. The pirate finds little success in their matchup, with Marigold getting the upper hand. Later on, Marigold finds himself facing against a previous nemesis, the pirate captain Jason St. Josephine. Marigold blinds the pirate captain with a bit of dirt, taking him out in quick fashion. Alejandro, who is up next, licks a green mold-covered garment and instantly goes into a berserker rage. The guards attempt to subdue an out-of-control Alejandro, leaving Marigold alone with an unconscious Jason St. Josephine. Through a bit of investigation, Marigold finds what looks to be a treasure map on the pirate captain's person. Although the language is indecipherable to him, using Alejandro's outburst as a distraction for escape, Marigold sneaks to an office in search of some keys. He comes up short on the keys, but finds a pair of brass knuckles and a file of his criminal record. But through a bit of brute force, Marigold is able to dislodge some jail cell doors and sneaks out of jail. So your character, he was put in jail because he got into a fight with this pirate captain at a tavern, and then they set fire to the tavern. And he basically set fire to the tavern to escape and to rescue his employer, who is Todd the Heroic. And then you get put in a kind of a crummy jail, and Todd, being the rich, I kind of describe him as like an Instagram influencer. He's kind of vapid. He's an idiot. He wants to kind of play the hero, but isn't skilled enough to do so. So that's why you've been hired. And so he's kind of in this like country club type place. And so you had to kind of fight in these prison brawls, and then you managed to escape. But now you're here to kind of rescue Todd. So now, having gotten out of one jail only to have to sneak into another, we now find the mostly weaponless Marigold Thundercrack standing outside the much nicer but heavily guarded Heaven's Rest Resort and Spa. Currently, Marigold's employer, the ineffectual Todd the Heroic, is on house arrest at the spa and is awaiting trial. A deal that Todd managed to work out through his celebrity and a number of well-placed bribes to the right officials. However, despite whatever luxury Todd might currently be enjoying, it is a luxury that soon could be coming to an end. Marigold knows from a previous conversation with his jailers that the local courts of Cutlass Hollow don't take kindly to arsonists. So they don't like the arsonist we established in the last game because basically there was a fire previously years ago that set fire to their docks. They're a port town, and that just kind of screwed their economy up. So you being in jail wasn't gonna probably work out super well for you. And then your guy he's a failed improv comedian, which was established in a different episode. So that's why there's all that kind of silliness in there. So.
And I'm willing to risk my life to rescue him from this posh holding estate.
Well, he pays very well. He's quite rich, and you being an adventurer, kind of, I don't know, maybe money is, it's of a primary concern for you, probably more so than your safety at times.
Okay. Wet tile around the pool, steamy in the pool areas. I see. So this is like, okay, I get it.
These would be your aspects. So those are just ones I started with just to kind of give an idea of maybe what this place could be like. But I guess to start off, what are some things you think would make up be kind of unique to a resort or like a spa type place?
Well, if it's a place that so it's kind of like a nice estate, but where he is being imprisoned because he's associated with this whole arson issue. And I'm here to get him out of here so that we can engage in further exploits. So what else is here? Well, probably the guards are not like hardened warriors.
Okay.
Like they don't have bloody knuckles.
Okay, so let me.
I would think that the guards are, they're kind of like weekend warrior types. Maybe one of them is like nasty and has some real experience, but I would expect him to be, more like, they wear like overly nice armor.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard for me to. That's sort of outside myself to describe the place. I mean, I think it would be filled with nice things. Like there would be little paintings and sculpture and decorative items all about, because rich people tend to like that kind of thing.
Okay. So let's say maybe expensive art, paintings and sculptures. So
and it would be like overlit compared to other places. Like nice places in the medieval world are always very well lit, whereas crummy places are always very dark and shadowy.
Okay. Okay, so maybe not a lot of places maybe not a lot of shadows to sneak in.
Well, plus, yeah, I get the feeling from this that it's like daytime too. Like I'm just in these bushes. It's like 3 in the afternoon right now.
Yeah. Yeah, let's say it's probably sometime between lunch and dinner. There's a caterer there. I don't know if you saw that. So guy's getting catered meals. Caterer's maybe setting up for dinner.
Yeah, boy, it's hard to really want to put myself in danger for this person, but
that's fair.
But
what do you think the smells would be like at this place?
The smells? They'd be great.
Yeah.
They'd be like aromatherapy smells.
What do you think? Like lavender or something?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like anything. Yeah, soothing and Oprah-like. What is my stance here? Like, I'm definitely not in an extreme moral stance. I'm not like do or die. Like, do I really even? I probably don't even really want to kill anyone, if possible.
Up to you. You're writing the story for this character. But anything you do today, if you get this guy into more trouble, the next person who plays the character will be dealing with those consequences. So
what I want to do is have words with him. So
guard?
Okay, so there's something. No, I mean, these guards are nothing to me. But Todd, seriously, dude, what are you doing? You could just walk out of here. I mean, this is like low security. And plus, I thought you're supposed to be the guy that's like the employer here, and now I'm rescuing you. Like, all my prices just went up by triple. Like, if you even want to leave this place alive. Okay, now I'm starting to feel something. Okay, there I think I know what my stance is. Is it safe to say that the little, like, where I see little shutters, are those doors or windows?
Yeah, those would be doors. So, on the west side, this would be probably a door, and this would be a door on the west side of the building. And just for people listening, just so they kind of know what you're looking at, Marigold is standing outside like a building, and there's how many pools are there? There's about 9 different individual like little spa pools, maybe some massage rooms to the west, and dinner, another little kitchen area. There's a kitchen area to the right with a caterer. Some guards are maybe having a meal. And
so the only real door I have access to is the one sort of by my side of the map, right?
Yeah. Okay. The guard, this is a big place, so the guards, there aren't probably enough guards here to cover the entirety of the area, so they have to make some rounds. So, like this guy, he's moving, he's got to kind of move and check this area, and then this guard has to move, kind of check these areas. So they're people kind of moving around.
All right.
All
right, and then I have a brass knuckles, and that's all.
Yeah, so you were in prison, so they took your armor and your sword and your crossbow, and your money. So you weren't able to recover any of that stuff.
All right. Well, there's I guess I'd have a bit of a sneer as I'm approaching this sort of wealthy location. I have no taste for this kind of stuff. I find it somewhat repugnant. Let's see. I think I would lean outside this entry door if I can, and kind of give a little bird whistle in the door, like down the hall.
Okay.
Make some noise and see if I can draw a guard. I might as well just take the direct approach here. I don't think there's any rooftops or any sneaking around or crawling through windows to be done. I need gear, and I need to bust some heads up for all these shenanigans I've been through in the recent days.
Okay, so I'm thinking that would maybe be performance, like a charisma skill, I would think, whistling. So do you want to go ahead and just roll an easy roll for charisma, unless you have performance?
Sure, I got no bonus, so it's a raw 20. Here we go. And it's a 3.
All right, so you weren't able to draw the guards. The guard, he barely hears you. You're, as it was kind of established in a previous episode, you're kind of a failed improv comedian, and you're also a failed whistler as well. So.
Now that's hard to role play. Well, so I'm like whistling down this hallway, and nobody comes.
Mm.
Then I'm Marigold frickin' Thundercrack. I'm walking down this hallway, and I want some gear, damn it. So I think I'll just start going in if I can. Looking around, and I'm kind of wondering, like maybe every once in a while I'll be like, Todd, are you in here somewhere? Todd? I'm looking into these weird like foot massage rooms.
As you're kind of doing that, you hear some footsteps. It's you hear kind of the guard is kind of moving back towards this entrance here. There's a pool. I have it labeled pool 1 for the listener, and it's in the north side of the map, towards the northwest side of the map. So he's kind of coming through the door. So do you want to keep proceeding forward, or how do you see yourself?
Absolutely, I'll look him right in the eye.
All right,
and I'll just go like, "Oh, big fella, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the really easy way."
All right, so this guard, he's a little taken aback by the fact that you're just kind of being so bold, and say he's kind of he's kind of new. He's new on the job, and he's fumbling for his blade, he knows he's kind of got to do something, but he's not super confident in kind of his combative martial skills. So as he's fumbling for the blade, you want to take this opportunity to talk to him or engage with him, get the upper hand somehow? How do you want to proceed with this?
Let me see if so I've got my punch attack, I've got attack rolls, second wind, normal stuff there. Okay, nothing to look at on the treasure. So I'd like to, so he's reaching for his blade, huh?
Yeah, but he's nervous. Like this guy, he's brand new. This is like maybe his first gig as a guard. They put him on this cushy job because they figured this Todd guy is kind of a pushover. He's not going to give him much trouble. So he's kind of fumbling with the scabbard and the sword, trying to get it out. There's like a bit of a delay. here where you could maybe get the upper hand on him if you so chose.
Yeah.
To.
So I'll be like, let me help you with that. And I'll try to reach and snatch the sword as he's fumbling with it. Like, snatch it right out of his scabbard.
Okay. So go ahead and that would probably be like what would that be? Sleight of hand, so that would be like a dexterity skill. So if you want to roll for easy dexterity, which is 17 for the listener.
Only +1 on that. Man, these targets are gnarly. 7.
All right, so you kind of go for it, but the guy, he manages to get it out before you can. And he pulls out his sword and kind of he's clutching up on the blade, and he's got it in front of you, and he is telling you to halt and not move forward.
Do you even know how to use that thing? And I'll put up my knuckles in like a pugilistic stance. Like I can fight fist versus short sword. Come on. I'll do like a little Bruce Lee dance, like side to side, real quick, and kind of.
He starts to he goes to swing at you. The first swing, he kind of misses, and he like lops the head off of a statue.
Nice. So good one.
So he misses you. You dodge out of the way, hits the statue, and now you're kind of like now it's your move to basically go for him.
Someone's going to have to pay for that. And now he's game time is over, so I'm going to pop him with my knuckle duster attack.
All right.
So that's +4 to hit. Here we go. Come on, baby. 18 mod. Woo-hoo.
Nice. Okay. So you get him. So you pop him. So go ahead and so how do you see yourself, I guess, doing blows at this guy? Are you like
D4 +2? Well, it's like I'm just doing like this almost like humorous fighting style, because I really don't feel like this guy is up for this fight. But so I'm just going to give him a jab like right to the nose, so that make him cry like a little baby. I do 1d4 +2. Minimum. So I do 3 damage, but still 3 damage to the nose.
All right. Do you think you like got him in the face, or do you hitting him in the ribs, or you said the nose, right? Or
yeah, right in the nose. I mean, he's wearing armor, so really the face is the only spot to go, and I'm kind of like doing like a boxing style with this guy.
So you pop him in the nose, and he falls on the ground, and he drops the sword to the ground, and he's clutching his face as blood kind of runs out of it.
Oh dang! This poor guy really is ill-equipped.
Yeah, he's not.
Well, then I'll step over him and I'll be like, you know the drill. I need the helmet, the shoulder pads, the gloves. You can keep the boots, the sword, and a few moments to myself. But, oh well. Yeah, I need that gear from him.
You're taking like his armor, you said?
I need the helmet, the shoulder pads, the gloves, and the sword, yeah. So not all of his plate, because that's ridiculous, but I need some gear here. I'm like almost gearless.
All right, so it says that he has a chain shirt, so we'll just say that's kind of like the full armor set.
All right, cool. You're going to have to give up the chain shirt and the tabard. I normally don't wear tabards, but, I'm trying to do this stealthily.
So the chain shirt, it says it's AC 13 plus Dex, max 2. So your armor is what, I think 10 or 11, right?
It's 11 right now, yeah. So I got 2 more on top of that. Woot.
Then you're taking his blade, or are you leaving him with it?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's see. Long sword would be real quick.
Dang, it's a long sword. Nice.
I think it's I have the specific stat in front of me. I think it's where is it? I just had it on my computer. This is great,
guys. Three Musketeers style, man. There's only 4 of them left. Okay.
So, +4 to hit. And then I think it's 1d8 +1 slashing damage.
Fantastic. Boy, so I'm +6 to hit with that bad boy. That's more like it. All right. Oh, these poor guys don't even know what's coming.
So he's not unconscious, but you've kind of stripped him naked. Do you want to? Are you gonna just leave him there? Or are you gonna kind of? I guess how do you want to? I guess what do you want to do with the guy since he's just kind of sitting there in his underpants?
Whimpering guy just gave in so easily. I don't know what's going on in here. I need to save myself some time. So, where are they keeping the one they call Todd the Heroic Friend? Speak quickly.
Okay, go ahead and roll intimidation, just average 20. I believe is charisma.
Got a 11 up.
11?
Yeah.
So, this guy, he's new on the job, and he's not like super corruptible. He wants to do a good job. It's bad enough you kind of wounded his pride by taking all of his stuff, and he's like, that's the one thing I won't tell you. Like, I won't tell you where Todd is. Knowing, if he does that, then he's off the force. That's goodbye to his career. So he refuses to basically give that information up to.
Well, then it'll have to be plausible denial for you, friend. And you need to bop him on the top of the head. The old move we call jogging his memory. I'm gonna have to knock him out with the pummel of the sword.
Right. So, you can just kind of go ahead and do that. This guy is kind of defenseless at this point. He's not gonna put up much of a fight. So you knock him out, and he's KO'd. Do you want to just leave the body there, or do you want to?
No. I want to put him and make him look like he's relaxing in this foot massage room.
Okay. Nice.
Like I'm gonna take off his boots, put his feet in the little soaking pool, and then he's knocked out. So it looks like he just took off his armor and like took a way too long break. Okay. But it's not gonna matter anyways because I'm gonna cut these guys to ribbons before they get a chance to find him.
Nice. All right, so he's taking a break. Guard number 2, he's just going and he's doing more of his rounds. He's checking this pool over here. These guys who are on the southeast side of the map, they're in this little catering area for the listener. There's a games area, like maybe some badminton or something goes on there. They kind of wander over there to have a little game of badminton or ping pong, or maybe shoot a few baskets at the basketball court. So they're doing their thing. So go ahead, Marigold.
There's another door right there, right by guard number 2. Okay. Well, I don't know about that, so I will just continue down what seems like the natural path here. And in each doorway, when I see a steam pool, I'll just be like, Todd, are you in there? Where are you, man? It's a maze in here. Todd? But I suppose he's not around here anywhere.
No, he's for the listener and for you. I mean, you can see him on the map, but for the listener, he's on the north, let's say the northeast side. He's chilling in a pool. He's kind of just lounging in maybe what would be a hot tub, and he's got a hired musician there to play him some tunes. So.
Oh my God, these guys have no idea what's coming their way. Todd, where are you?
You're making your way kind of that direction. This guard is kind of coming back here. Guard number 4, he tells guard number 5 that he's going to go relieve guard number 1 from his duty. It's kind of the changing of the guards. And he kind of hikes back over this way. And it's kind of suspicious as to why number 1 isn't where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to kind of meet him before they, hand off duties. And this guy isn't there, so he's just sort of slowly proceeding up the northwest hallway.
Perfect.
So.
Perfect. It's all going according to plan. I'm just not scared of these guys. I could take two of them on at the same time.
All right.
I'm gonna just walk up until I'm just gonna actually walk. I'm gonna stride. Forget walking. I'm gonna straight up stride down this hall. I'll come around this corner and see guard number 2, which is pretty funny. Guard number 2 is kind of like an ongoing joke about here comes guard number 2. But this is actually guard number 2. And I'll turn, I'll hold the sword out like Princess Bride style. I'll be like, I accept your surrender. You may have heard of me, Marigold Thundercrack. And I am your nemesis. I've come for my employer. I recommend you do not present resistance, whelp.
Guard number 2, he goes, what's that? He's a little hard of hearing. He had kind of stood too close to some fireworks on his, when he was kind of not working one day and the fireworks went off in his face, and he's a little hard of hearing now. So he says, what? Is that you? And he turns to see who's trying to talk to him. And he sees you, and this guy is armed with a spear, and he points the spear towards you, and he charges. So
have at thee. All right, so now my AC is 13.
So go ahead and roll for initiative. We're gonna see kind of who's gonna get the better of this exchange and the opening blows.
Initiative. Is that just my dex bonus?
Yeah,
so,
it's okay.
Oh, 20 dirty.
Okay, so you win. You're gonna beat that.
I warned you, fool. Don't make me show you my thundercrack. Ching, 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 ching. So, obviously, I'm gonna have to stick him with the sword. I didn't want it to be like this, but I mean, the guy came at me with a spear, so I'm +6 to hit with the sword. No reason to hesitate. Here we go. Looks like a 14 modified.
14. Okay, so you miss. So I guess, so you're missing him. So can you tell me, kind of describe this fumble to me? Like, what's your character doing? How did they screw this up?
Well, I don't know. Fighting a guy in a hall with a spear is somewhat difficult. Am I trying to hit his armor class or the target?
The armor. I'm going based on armor class. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah, then I just grazed off the chainmail, and he's like, I don't know, Marigold would be like, well, maybe we're more evenly matched than it seemed. Have at me.
And the guy goes, what? Can't hear you. God. Speak up, boy.
I'm gonna kill this guy.
Sounds like he's somebody's grandfather. This guy is he's probably like 27. He's been on the force a little bit longer than the other guy, but he talks like he's somebody's grandfather. Nobody can hear. He can't hear anybody.
Well, so, is he gonna laugh at any of my quips? I'm gonna have to put him out of his misery.
Right. So he's gonna attack with his spear. So he's getting it ready. He's kind of thrusting at you. Let's see if he gets you.
Yikes!
So I rolled a 20, so that would hit.
It's been a good life. Well, I have 22 HP, so
right.
I'm not dead yet, I hope, unless he does 22 damage.
He did 2 damage.
Oh, excellent. It was just a scratch. Ha-ha!
And let's see if I gotta pull this up. I have like a table. It's called I call it the maiming table. I'm trying to find the document. But basically, depending on how much damage you take, you would roll a dice, and then it'd kind of give us some inspiration for the type of wound you've taken. So can I have you roll a crap. Where'd it go? All right, whatever. I'll find it eventually. So, anyways, he does 2 damage. So, I guess how do you see yourself being harmed in this encounter? Where does he get you?
Well, for the sake of theater, he gives me one of those "Remember You Buy" scars. It's like right on your cheekbone.
Okay.
Like you should. My comedy career was already in peril, and now you've deformed me. Don't you know I'm Marigold frickin' Thundercrack?
So do you? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to run him through.
So I'm kind of wondering about this wound. Do you think he cut through the cheek? Like, are you going to need stitches, or is this something that will maybe heal up on its own with some time?
I have no idea. I don't know. Stitches are good to prevent extreme scarring, but I think I'll survive 2 hit points without bleeding out.
All right. So you're up, and as you're getting ready to take your next move, guard number 5, he kind of can hear some commotion coming from down the hallway. So he's kind of moseying on over here, taking a sweet time to kind of check out what's going on, see what's happening. And guard number 4, who's on the northwest side, he's moving up the hallway, and he discovers the unconscious body of guard number 1 in this foot massage area that we talked about earlier. So Marigold, you're up.
You back there! You're missing all the action!
Okay, so you're gonna antagonizing him?
Well, I don't know, it's just my line.
Okay.
This guy... Can I just move on? No, I feel like I need to lay this guy out. I'm gonna run him through. Here we go. +6 on this bad boy. 18 modified.
All right, that would hit.
Haha! D8 +1. Cha! Oh, it was almost 4 +1, but it's minimum 1 +1. Only 2 stinking damage. So a tit for a tat in this particular instance.
Okay.
And I'll give him the same little cut right by the piece of his helmet there. I'll give him the same cut right on his cheek.
Okay.
Quid pro quo, Clarice.
So, guard, he tells you to speak up again. But he also wipes some blood off of his cheek, and he kind of licks it off his hand, and he gives you a grin, and he tries to distract you, so he grabs like a vase, expensive looking vase, and he throws it at you to kind of catch you off guard. So I'm gonna have him roll for dexterity, or I'm gonna roll my d20 plus dexterity just to see if he would have.
That was an antique, you cretin.
All right, so he rolled a 9. What are you, 10?
13.
13.
Aha!
Right. So you're not distracted. I guess, I don't know. What do you think you do? Sidestep him, or how do you?
Yeah, I was already getting ready to dive through this door, so I'm just kind of leaning toward this door, and the vase hits here behind me.
All right. So you dove through the door then?
If that's his go, yeah. Then on mine, I'd like to jump in here.
Okay. Yeah, like, go for it.
Splash into the pool, and I'll be like, "Another one of you incompetents, standing watch. I'll take you all at once. Todd, are you in here?"
Goes Marigold, and he's saying it, questioning, like, "What are you doing here? I thought you were still in jail."
It's a rescue, you bloated warthog. Now put on your pants. We're getting out of here.
Like, well, it's so nice here. Why would I mean, no, I think we have a good chance of getting off on this whole arson business. I don't think we have too much to worry about. The guard moves. He's chasing after you. Guard number 5. he joins fray, and number 4 is kind of coming that way to meet him. So now you have you're kind of surrounded by guards, it looks like, at this point.
That's the idea. I wanted to Three Musketeers them, but now my would-be beneficent here, my rescue person, doesn't even want to be rescued. And I never had much taste for this guy in the first place. I'd rather take my chances in the world on my own. I don't know if that's an option, but it is D&D, so I can make it what I want it to be.
Yeah, we're just kind of going with the flow on this one. So if you think you want to abandon them for whatever reason, that is totally up to you. But these guards probably aren't going to let you leave without a fight, because they don't appreciate being, kind of humiliated and beaten up the way you've been doing to them. So
they need to get used to it. All right. Well, at the very least, I'm going to need. I have a window here. I can see a window at the far end. I'm going to sort of splash forward through this water and get my back to this window and confront this guard. And I'm going to, I don't know, I just see Marigold Thundercrack this way, but I imagine him having this sort of sword fight with this guard while arguing with Todd. It's kind of a classic swashbuckler thing to do, like you have a sword fight while you talk to someone else. So to kick it off, though, I'd like to attack this guard if I can.
Sure. I would say this guard's pretty surprised. We've established they're kind of Osh guards, so you would have first swing at him.
Aha! How about you? Here we go. Come on, baby. Give me something good. Oh my God, it's a natural 1. It's a crit fail.
All right, so you fail. You don't hit him. The guard, he's also kind of equipped with a spear. He decides to take a poke at you. So he's let's see, where did I put that guard? Okay, so I'm gonna roll 11 plus 4, 15. So he rolls, he spears at you, then D6. Where do I put my D6? So he gets a 3.
All right. I'm down to
so can I have
17 HP now.
Okay, so can I have you roll a D4, and I'm just going to read off one of these damage conditions, and we can kind of role play through it.
I got a 1.
All right, so one is you have a black eye. So I guess he kind of he misses you with the spear so much, but as he's kind of going forward, he clumsily falls into you, and his shoulder it's kind of a, it's covered in armor, and it hits you kind of square in the face and gives you a black eye.
Oh, dang. An ignominious wound. All right. Not bad. Todd, you fool! This is your last chance. Either put on your pants, you over-pampered fish, and jump out this window with me, or join these mucky mucks, and I'll take my chances in the world on my own. Our partnership is about to come to an end unless you join me now. What say you?
He's kind of whiny and resistant to the idea, but he probably knows it's for the best. And if anything, he knows this is the sort of things adventurers do. This will help his legend grow, even if he's kind of a false hero. The greater public doesn't need to know he's kind of incompetent. So thinking kind of what his brand is, thinking about his brand, his brand of being this heroic, influencing figure, he decides it's probably good for it. So he starts to move forward, but the bard, musician guy, he comes over and he puts a firm hand on Todd's shoulder, and he he kind of does one of those kind of, I don't know, it's like when you were a little kid and the teacher, somebody sticks a hand on your shoulder and pushes you down to sit down in your desk. He does one of those and kind of sits Todd down, and he rolls up his sleeves, and he's got these like big hulking biceps and some tattoos, kind of intimidating looking tattoos. This guy is more than just a bard, and he kind of walks past the guard and tells him he's got this, and he gets kind of right up in your grill.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Put down your loot. Put down your loot and fight like a man or woman, or whichever you prefer.
So he takes the loot, and he kind of like, it's like he kind of rips the strings off, and then he pulls the neck of the lute kind of away from the body of the instrument, and there's like a blade attached to it. So basically the neck is the handle to what would appear to be a short sword.
Nice.
All right, can I have you roll for initiative?
Yep, +1. 9 modified.
All right, I got 20. So the bard or whatever, the musician, he comes at you. He rolled a nat 1 though, so he comes swinging at you, and he kind of whiffs. So yeah, he's intimidating to look at, but maybe he's a little bit of maybe these muscles are more for show than they are for anything else. So he misses you. He kind of stumbles off balance a little bit, loses it. He slips on the wet floor, and kind of falls down, giving you advantage on the next exchange.
Outstanding. Todd, quickly out the window with you, and see if you can scare up 2 beers as we abscond into the forest. And as for you,
Todd's like, he's like, I don't have any beer, but what about mead? Are you good with mead? Would that
mead
work for you?
Will do. Now leap, leap to your freedom, you pond-soaking frog. Go.
So he jumps out this window, and he falls on his butt, and then he kind of runs off into the bushes to hide, waiting for you to.
Okay, there's a window back there too. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, Todd is to safety.
And more of these guards, they keep coming in. They're kind of bum rushing the area, kind of leaving. This guy he's down for right now. So you're kind of overwhelmed by these people.
So I'll draw my sword to him, but then I'll pull it back.
The musician?
Yeah, this is no way to see who is the better fighter here. On your feet. I'll give you another shot.
Okay. So do you have like are you behind him and kind of have the sword to his neck? Is that
just for a second? But then I don't want to take advantage of that. That is not. There's no honor in that. So I want him to gain his feet and take another shot at me. He just had a moment of bad luck. I don't want to win a fight on bad luck. I want him to take a good shot at me.
All right. So he stands up and he kind of waves off the other guards. He's like, "I got this, guys. Like this is my fight." And so the guards they kind of step back. One of the guards, let's say it's guard number 5. He starts taking bets. He starts asking if people want to put some money down. Guard number 3 is like, "What is wrong with you?" And kind of like, "You are such an idiot. Like, what is going? This is not the time for that." Meanwhile, guard number 2, he's pulling out his wallet, and he was starting to get like a 20 or like something or whatever the denomination is, and then kind of feels shamed into thinking maybe this. He starts to feel kind of shamed about his decision about wanting to bet, and after hearing what guard number 3 said to guard number 5, and he kind of quietly slips it back in and tries to.
Oh, they really are sissies.
He looks left to right, and he's like doesn't want to You seem to be kind of like the outsider, so.
Never give in to peer pressure, bro. Be yourself, man.
So the musician, he's ready to go after you again. So do you want to try to strike, or do you want to?
No. He gets a free shot. That was just a stroke of bad luck. We don't want to kick things off that way.
All right. Okay, so he rolls 7 plus 4. But he rolls an 11.
Ah, deflected. Bling!
So
you seem a decent fellow. I hate to kill you.
So you guys are kind of going back and forth in this exchange. I guess, do you see yourselves doing some kind of like sword fighting type of situation? How do you see him? How does he miss you, do you think?
Well, if he's using this little short sword and I have a long sword, I mean, that's just a classic, he's used beneath defense, and I used, like Lambretto's gambit, so I just like blocked it to one side. I need to at least strike him once so that I have my honor, so I'm going to have to attack him.
Okay. And right before you attack him, because you kind of like batted his sword away, the way you said it made me think it was kind of like an easy parry for you. So one of the guards, he snickers, and he's like, "See, I told you this guy wasn't that tough." Kind of talking trash about his coworker over here.
Dang. Their manager really needs to get more team unity going. Here comes the attack. Cha! It's a nat 20, baby. Woo!
Right, that hits.
Oh, man, he really should have gone with the bet. So I guess that's, 2d8 plus 1 would be my double damage for a crit? Is that the rules you use? Pow, pow! Firing off these dice. 8 plus 1, 9 damage. And like right where I mean to deliver it, which is like an honor strike. So I want to like cut the outside of his bicep. I don't want to stab him in the gut like a coward. I just want to give him like a deep cut in the arm to show him that I know exactly what I'm doing. Oh man, what a great time to roll a crit.
Okay, so how much damage did you do?
8.
Okay.
Which in these exchanges is not bad at all.
Oh, so you go to kind of cut his bicep, but you're a little bit too forceful with it, and you just kind of chop his arm off. And his sword arm, but this guy.
Oh God.
And
no, I'm so sorry.
And it's kind of like this, like Holy Grail sort of situation where this guy kind of looks down at his arm, and he kind of looks back up at you, and he bends down and he grabs the short sword in the other hand and goes, "'Tis but a flesh wound," and he kind of charges forward to continue the battle, but now he's down an arm and he's fighting. Oh. He's going to be fighting with disadvantage because he's
impressive resolve, musician. Do your worst.
And then he kind of belts out like a little note, like maybe like a little Michael Jackson, like or something, just to because he's got those musician vibes.
Dang, he's got nerves of steel.
He rolls an 18 plus.
That's a hit.
Yeah. All right. D6. All right, he hits you for 3.
Got it. Down to 14 HP now.
Okay, can I have you roll a D6? Let's see how he hurts you.
To dwell on the gory details of my injury, it's a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
All right. So he cuts you maybe across like an exposed part of your arm, and it gives you. It's kind of like an infected. It's an infected wound at this point. So you have you're poisoned, I suppose, or will be poisoned.
What?
Future scenario.
You must care for your weapons, clumsy fool. Perhaps you deserve to lose that arm. Ah.
Yeah, it's not a sharp blade, but it's it's a bit rusty. It's kind of...
Oh, that won't do. That just pisses me off.
It hasn't been oiled in a while, so... Okay. So he gets you in the arm.
I came here to take my friend, not your limbs, fool, so I will now be taking my leave. Good day! Whee! Jump out the window.
Right, so
Poor guy got his arm cut off, but he still had the willpower to Michael Jackson ragged sword me. Like, I'm done with this fool.
Right, so you run out the window. They're screaming, for you to get back there. The musician is the only one who has enough sense to call for the caterer to come back him up. So the caterer kind of comes around here, and gets kind of in front of you, wants to cut your path off. And the musician is he tries to jump through the window. He's having some trouble because he doesn't have that arm to kind of pull himself through. And another guard is coming over here. Guard number 5 is coming over here to kind of assist him and get him the rest of the way through.
Okay. I have no quarrel with you, barkeeper. Out of my way, I'll only take a mug of ale, and I'll be gone. You don't want to lose an arm like your friend here.
The barkeeper, he grabs a mustache. It's kind of like a old-timey mustache you can twirl. And he's kind of mulling over your words of warning, your words, trying to think if it's worth standing in your way. And as he's taking his time, he kind of grumbles to himself and he goes, hell. And then he reaches behind himself and on a back, like a loop on his belt, he unlatches some sort of buckle and pulls out a mace, and he's like, I can't let you through. I'm sorry, but this is how it's got to be.
Fools losing limbs for coin. So be it.
Okay. Can I have you roll for initiative?
You bet. 20 plus 1. Here we go. 18 mod. Nice one.
All right. This guy got a 3, so you get first crack at him.
I really do not want to hurt this guy. It's bad luck to harm barkeepers. Can I do like a Jet Li thing and try to just run around this, basically just tackle through this little alleyway and get past him? I don't want to hurt this guy.
Yeah, if you want to try, I guess it's probably going to be some sort of athletics check, I would think.
Hey, I'm good with athletics. Plus 4 on athletics. I'll take that.
So let's do
Sweet.
It's kind of, I would say it's kind of a high stress situation, and there's a guy standing in your way, so it'd probably be a harder roll, but you might be able to use some of the aspects or the scenery to add plus 2. So I would say if you're bouncing off the wall, it'd be an athletics check, and then you can add an additional 2 just to kind of, since you're using the scenery to
there's there's a little grotto with a sculpture of Venus in it, and I'll plant one
and
foot.
And just listener kind of knows what we're talking about. The spa area, it's mostly a series of hallways and pools, and then there's a separate structure where it looks like that's to the southeast of the spa that's not attached, and it's kind of I guess it looks like a tavern, bar, dining area, and there's a hall, almost like a hall or maybe space between the two buildings that Marigold is standing in with this thuggish caterer. I guess you could call him a thug because that's the stats I'm using. So,
all right. So on that little outbuilding, their little catered outbuilding, there's a grotto with a sculpture of Venus, and I'm going to plant my foot in there and use it to try to muscle past him. Here we go. D20 plus 4. It's another nat 20. Oh my God! Screen grab. Yes, that's amazing.
Okay. So you bounce over.
Where's my thing? Here it is. Oh wait, I'm in links for here. You can delete it later. It's just too good. Check it out.
So
there you go.
I guess you get past this guy, so I'm just gonna.
Yes.
If you want to move past him, the musician manages to finally get through the window, or he's not chasing after you. He's chasing after Todd, because Todd is, although he's trying to hide, he is quite noisy. He's not the sneakiest fellow, so he's the musician is kind of running in that direction, knowing that Todd's maybe over there.
Fair play. Well, if is it my go?
So, all you.
All right, so I just basically nimbly zip past this guy with the nat 20 like a bowas, and then I'm gonna spin around, and I'm gonna make good on my request. So I'm gonna go over to the opening here and go in and grab like a wineskin or a small cask of mead, whatever I can grab quickly.
All right, so there's kind of, it's like a stocked bar.
Fantastic.
You see some wine, you see some ale, you see some mead. And then you see a bottle. It's kind of on the top shelf and kind of off to the side away from the rest of the drinks. And that drink, it looks to be kind of like a greenish liquid, and the label is it's kind of like a label that you can't quite read. It's not in a language you would maybe know necessarily. Might be Draconic, it might be Dutch, this might be absinthe, I'm not really sure.
Somewhere between Draconic and Dutch, who knows?
Yeah, might be Czechoslovakian.
Marigold, there's like a close-up of Marigold's hand going up to the green bottle, and then he pulls back. He says, "I never drink green alcohol." I grab a common bottle of wine, and I'm going to try to get the hell out of here as fast as I can.
All right. So you're booking it. The caterer is coming behind you. The musician is, he's kind of coming around the other side of the building, not knowing that you're kind of coming this way because he's coming after Todd, and you kind of you hit the musician and you kind of slide into him, and you guys both kind of fall to the ground. So I'm gonna have you. We're just gonna do like each roll and like a contest roll. You'll have advantage though. Kind of see who stands up the fastest in this exchange.
With advantage.
So I'm just gonna do. Just a regular D20.
My better roll is a 7, if you can believe that. Garbage.
Okay, this guy got a 6, so you actually managed to get up before him. So you would have the first strike in this if you choose to exchange with him.
Absolutely. No, this guy's about to bleed out. I mean, he's got an arm off.
Yeah, he's looking a little. His everything with this guy is a disadvantage at this point. I mean, he's probably about to collapse. He doesn't have he's fighting with his offhand. So
you've showed your courage, musician. Enough is enough. You need medical attention. We'll fight another day. And I'll be like, ha-cha-cha, off into the bushes. Come on, Todd, run, you bloated whale. I'm so mean to this guy.
All right, and then Todd and you kind of just run off into the shadows.
Yay!
So we're gonna kind of close it out here, but I guess before we, let Marigold go, does Marigold have any parting words for these people as he's running off? He's kind of known as a trash talker at this point, so does he say anything to these people as he's trying to escape, or does he just kind of keep going?
He sheathes his long sword. He's like, you just can't find good help anymore. And off into the bushes he goes.
Nice. Okay, so that would conclude our actual play. And then something that I'm I'm toying with, and I'm going to let you be the first one to do it. Is I created like a little store and some different things, and you can kind of. I don't think you have any money, but there's some options you might be able to pick for the next player. So I'll send you the link, and then whatever you decide this evening is maybe something that the new player has to use.
Cool. You will be getting a rotted frog bladder. Or something of that nature. Oh man, two natural 20s in 1 hour. Not bad. Okay, podcast store. Here we go.
So typically if you had some money, you could buy some equipment for the people, or you could buy them a level, and leveling up in the game is just going to be based off of gold earned. That way people don't, become like godlike.
Well, wait a minute. If I don't have any money, how do I get stuff here?
Isn't really anything for you to buy right now, but you can pick their martial role for them. So you can choose if you want to be an attacker, defender, second wind, improved critical.
Absolutely second wind.
Okay. So you pick second wind, and then if you wanted to, I guess, sell anything that you bought for half price, you would receive like half price for whatever you bought. So if you want, or sold. So if you have equipment that is maybe on the store, and if you wanted to sell it off for a little bit extra money for the next player, that's up to you, or you can keep all the equipment you got.
And I just don't have good enough stuff to sell to get antitoxin. Can I sell Todd's luxury towel? I don't know. All I have is a long sword and a chain shirt, so I think I'm just going to have to seek out medical attention if I just can't sell all my gear.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rely on rest and on my constitution to beat this bit of a rust infection.
All right. I just wanted to give you the option. Since you're making the decisions for the next person, I wanted to make sure you had the choice to do it if it was something you thought you'd want to. So
yeah, I'm gonna give that next player the gear, not the cure to the slightly nasty wound.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
cool. So that concludes our first episode together. That concludes our actual play of the Sidekick. This is Jared with Hankerin Hank Ferinale. How do you say that? Your last name?
Like you're hankering for a nail.
Oh, I see. Before I let you go, is there where do you want people to go to find you? Do you have a website you want to plug, or a new project, or anything like that?
Well, I have a bunch of links to all the different things I do at www.runehammer.online. So that just shows you all the different avenues of silliness that I do. But if you want to just kind of catch up with me, say hi. I'm on the grams, and I'm hankerin.ferinale on the Instagram. So get on there, and that's where I, post pictures of my natural 20s and stuff, like a straight up dork.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was kind of huge for me. You're one of the first, I would say, TTRPG YouTubers that I started to follow. So this is really kind of exciting for me today.
I just feel bad that guy got his arm cut off. I mean, 8 damage is pretty bad, but dang, in medieval times, you don't really get your arm reattached. Like he's gonna be a one-armed guy from now on. He's probably got a bone to pick with me. So I didn't mean to hurt him that bad.
Well, something that seems to be a theme for Marigold is he's leaving a lot of guys with scars in his wake. He burned a guy's legs up, in a fire, and now he's created an amputee. So,
well, I say the blood is on Todd's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Todd's an idiot, and he gets himself into trouble. So
Todd's an idiot. That's amazing.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.